We read in Matthew chapter 21 that as they approach Jerusalem, Jesus sends 2 of his disciples ahead, telling them that they will find a donkey with a colt. He tells them to untie them and bring them to him, and if the owner asks what they're doing, to just tell them that the Lord needs them and everything will be fine. The disciples brought the donkey and the colt and placed their cloaks on them for Jesus to sit on. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and those that followed shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, "Who is this?" The crowds answered, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He quotes from both Isaiah and Jeremiah, saying, "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." The blind and the lame came to him at the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the teachers of the law saw the wonderful things he did and the children praising him, they were angry and said to him, "Do you hear what these children are saying?" "Yes," replied Jesus. "Have you never read, 'From the lips of children and infants you have ordained praise'?" Here, Jesus is quoting Psalm 8:2. "From the lips of children and infants you have ordained praise, because of your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger." So, why is it God has ordained praise from their lips? Well, because of his enemies, in order to silence them. So who is Jesus suggesting are the enemies of God here? Well, the chief priests and the Torah teachers. No wonder they hate him so much. Jesus spends the night in the nearby village of Bethany, and early the next morning he heads back to the big city. He gets hungry along the way and stops by a fig tree along the path, but it is covered in nothing but leaves. He then curses it, and immediately the tree withers. The disciples are amazed and say, "How did you do that?" Jesus replies, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, 'Go throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer." But wait a minute, why did Jesus curse the fig tree again? The other gospel writers let us know that it wasn't even the season for figs, so what was Jesus' point? Was he just having a bad day? Many scholars see the fig tree as representative of Jerusalem, and Jesus is using the fig tree as a visual aid for a parable. Just as the fig tree did not produce the kind of fruit that Jesus demanded, continuous and not seasonal, so too the people of Jerusalem had not produced the kind of fruit that God demanded. Just as the fig tree did not recognize its creator and submit to his will when he approached, the same was true with Jerusalem, the city of God, and both would be destroyed.